Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to the Plant Spot. So today we're gonna visit with the Hoya. Who would have thought, right? Hoya. Anyway, this is one that is in bloom and has several peduncles, and I'm super excited to show her to you. So if you like this type of content, stick around. All right, guys, as I mentioned in the intro, today we're going to be talking about a Hoya Lacunosa. Now, there are several varieties of this type of Hoya. I'm not quite sure which one this one is. I have her just listed as a Lacunosa. That's what they sold her to me as. I've had this particular specimen since October of last year. This plant currently lives on the plant wall. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out that short that we put up. It'll show you exactly where she lives. It has 3 spotlights that hit it. So it's getting, I would say, kind of direct light because it's at the top. I will tell you that when I first got this plant, it was struggling. It wasn't growing. It wasn't doing much of anything. But since being placed on that plant wall where it's getting more direct light, and I've increased the watering frequency. So for this particular specimen, I'm not letting her dry out all the way. So if I touch the top of the soil and I'm feeling dryness, I'm giving her water. And I think that that has helped with her blooming. So let me show you. I want to be real. I've been watching this for weeks now and bugging my husband saying, look at the peduncle, look at the peduncle. But look, guys, she's flowered and she's got that peduncle. And I think there's maybe 1 or 2 more on this vine. And it is so cool. As you know, I've got several Hoyas and I haven't been able to get them all to bloom. And I've mentioned this before. For me, with the Hoyas, it's more about the leaf than the bloom because I don't know if I can get them to bloom. But anyway, this particular variety of Hoya is typically found in Southeast Asia. You know, the Borneos, the Philippines, those type of places. Again, because I'm not certain of what type of Lacunosa I have, I can't actually pinpoint what location she comes from. But what I can tell you is that after I figured her out, she has been a joy to grow. So with that, I say, is it a beginner plant? Probably not. Unless you've dealt with Hoyas before. I would call this one more of an intermediate because you've got to figure out the right settings. So I do know that she enjoys a little bit more humidity. She likes the temperature to be where it's comfortable to us. So no lower than 65 and not too hot. So I think like 90, we wouldn't be comfortable in that. So I don't think that she would be comfortable in that. So ambient household humidity and temperature would probably work well for her. As far as drafts, she actually gets, we have a fan in the living room and that fan is always going. So it's not directly under the fan, but she does have a good amount of airflow. And I think that that's important too, considering the fact that I've upped my watering. So that will help her to dry out. Now, if you notice, she is in a self-watering pot, but I do not leave water in the reservoir. So when I water her, I literally dump out all of the water. Because with this particular plant, I noticed that when I left the water in the reservoir, she started to turn yellow. So in other words, she doesn't want to stay wet or consistently moist. I think she does enjoy a dry out period. So what I found for me was to water her and then dump out that water. And I'm watering her, I would say 7 to 10 days in between that range, or when she feels dry to the touch. Now, the flowers. I had never seen the flowers on this plant and I did not expect to get the peduncles, but as I showed you a little while ago, the flowers are actually really pretty. The corona is yellow. I don't know if you can zoom in, but you could see as it opens, the little spot in the middle, it's yellow. And the bloom is white. Does it have a scent? I don't know, unless the scent is strong at night. I don't smell anything. And then again, I have allergies. So chances of me smelling it, unless it's very strong, would be about that big. But I've had my husband sniff it too, and he says he doesn't smell anything either. But yeah, very pretty plant to have. The leaves come out like a light green and then they darken as they mature. I don't know what else to tell you. I think she's a really cool Lacunosa. I don't know if he can, let's see if I can get a leaf to turn that way. Okay, this vine, maybe. Can you see that? So like on the leaves, you know, a lot of people say that the Hoya leaves, they're all the same, the vines are all the same, but you have to look at it real close to get those details. If you notice, it's kind of spear shaped and it has the veination. It's very subtle, but it's there. And it's really cool because you can see it and almost feel it on the leaf. These leaves are smooth. There's no pubescence. There's no fur. But they're dainty and sturdy and hold true to the name wax plant, because that's what it feels like. They're super smooth and very leathery, if you will. So I'm not going to go ahead and drone on. I just wanted to show you this plant because I thought it was just absolutely gorgeous, and the fact that it's blooming for me makes me feel like if I can do it, you guys can do it too. So if I had to rate this plant on a scale of 1 to 10 for beginners, I would say a 6, only because I think you have to find the right spot for it, and everybody's house is different, right? So what's working for me may not work for you, and you might find it to be a challenge. So you have to find that right spot. You know, maybe you may have to adapt your watering habits, but can you do it? Yes. This is one of those plants that if you get, you need to be patient with. I upsized this plant maybe about 3 months ago. She was in a smaller container and she was just on a shelf. And I decided to put her in this and put her on the wall. And since then, she's given me the blooms. So that's why I give it a 6. If you're experienced, I would say maybe a 7 or an 8. But if you're just starting out and you want to try a Hoya, this might not be the first one. There's other Hoya Lacunosas that you can purchase that are a little bit easier than this one. So yeah, I give this one a 6 for beginners. Are you guys growing Hoyas? I know you are. You've got to be growing Hoyas. They're super popular. How could you not? I know you have a favorite too. Tell me what your favorite is, because I've got a ton of Hoyas. Or is there a Hoya that you want to see that you don't have, but you're interested in and want to find out more about it? Drop it in the comments, because I've got, I would say, close to maybe 70, 80 varieties of Hoya. So I probably have it, and maybe we can talk about it. So don't forget, guys, thank you for spending time with me. I really enjoy your comments. Like, subscribe, and share. We need to get to 1,000, so don't forget. Talk to you real soon. Bye, guys.